All right. Well, firstly, I have something to admit. I did something really stupid. Last night, when you work on an RC for too long, your brain stops working. You come to one final bit and it doesn't quite work or fit, and you do something stupid. Well, I did something stupid, and I couldn't get this ESC is very tall with this fan on top, and the ESC that I'm going to put in here is also very tall, so this is almost for mock-up purposes, but it obviously will run. I've tested everything, but so I just cut a gaping hole in the body, and I don't know why I did it. I was tired and I was frustrated, and I just freaking chopped into it. Perfectly good body ruined. So I have another body at great expense being DHL'd from Italy. What an idiot. Anyway, back to the good stuff. And there is some good stuff. I am still super impressed with this buggy. And I have to tell you, with the body on as well, it just looks sick. So for style, this Radix wins it hands down. I wasn't a fan of the Python. The Python was like a odd looking version of a Typhon, and the way that they kind of did all those names back then, the Kronos for the Kraton and I didn't like that kind of marketing. But this is a whole new buggy, this Radix 4 or 6S. This is the 4S, but clearly now it's not so much of a 4S. Let me run you through a few things that I've done so far. Firstly, the parts that I ordered were all from Corrali Direct in Italy. They are all Swiss engineered and machined parts from Switzerland in proper 7075 T6 alloy that's hard anodized. And I can tell you, I had to bash a few of these hinge pins into their plastic molds with a hammer, and the anodizing did not, just nothing at all. So these are amazing upgrade parts, amazing service. Took 24 hours for them to get here. Now I can see from my last comments on this buggy that there isn't any comments, so I think I have a lot of Armour fan club boys in my on my channel, subscribing to my channel, and so I just want to caveat this by saying I do love Armour, guys, but without some constructive criticism, these companies won't go anywhere. I'm not here to necessarily make friends. I'm here to enjoy the RC world, and I'm here to make sure that it's constantly evolving and constantly improving. And when Armour do things like they're doing at the moment, which is just banging out the same product over and over again, without necessarily doing anything significant to it, and then charging a significant amount of money for it, well, it's just money making money. So I don't buy it, I don't buy into it, and I don't dig it. End of rant over. Radix 4, now 6 or 8 in the future. These are GT Shiv wheels from Louise. They are not the wheels that I'm going to be running if I get anywhere up and over 100 miles an hour, but they will be the wheels that I run when I'm testing 4S, this, that and the other. They're super grippy, super light. They come super balanced. I've tested them. There's no need to balance them, and I like them. The shocks are all mechanically lowered, so I put a spacer in the reservoir. So I take the shock rod out, I put a spacer in, then I put it back in refilled with 45 weight, so the whole thing's stiffen up. I haven't got any droop screws on the go as yet. I don't like using droop screws because with most plastic A-arms, they just twist the A-arm. So if the droop screw at the front, it twists the A-arm against the pressure of the shock, and I don't like that. It puts weird torsion type stresses on the A-arms that you don't need when you're running anything up and over 80 miles an hour. Chassis wise, It's beautiful, stunning, amazing, lush, whatever you want to call it, showing my age there with lush. Beautiful 7075 chassis. It's lighter than the stock. I can't remember the weights. I did weigh it because I thought that would be good for you guys, and I can't remember, so apologies. Shock towers are both 7075 T6 front CVDs, and I have now installed rear CVDs as an upgrade part. Really nice. Look, there's the wire retainer that I was talking about, and it's not just some 2-bit wire retainer. It is decent. That is not going to come out, and I love little things like that. The way the diffs pull out is basically the same as an armor. It's 2 screws there, and it just lifts out. All the diffs have been reworked, so I have 1 million weight in the front and rear and 20 million in the center. I will be making a center spool for this buggy out of an armor spool that I have bought off eBay. I'll make my own. I'm hoping that I'll be able to make my own spool spacers. I think I will be able to, and align it perfectly well, because at the moment I can't use a bigger pinion than this 24. I tried a 25, it was too tight. So this 24 tooth pinion is as big as I can go using the stock spur. Now you do have to, if you're going to use these buggies like I am for speed runs, you do have to chop the little spur protector plastic off of here, otherwise you won't fit in these big chunky spur gears. Center diff looks fairly solid. It all goes together nicely. Again, it's super lightweight. The parts individually are a little bit on the light side, but collectively, like the whole of this buggy, they are very strong. So it is a well-designed piece of kit, this buggy. You can see my rear brace is also 7075 tuning part from machined in Switzerland. This rear pin, I've put a little spacer in here just to lift it by, I think, about 8 mil. Because I want to be able to fit a stock body over the top of a tall ESC at the back here, and also possibly in the future run some fans on this motor. This is a 2000 kV 4070 TP4070, which goes in, as you can see, perfectly. The rear wing, so my mate at Lee Custom RC Upgrades, guys, if you don't know who Lee is at Custom RC Upgrades, he is the guy sending all these amazing parts to some of the top speed runners around the world and bashers. TP Parts Extreme, Raz, you know, and a lot of these guys, to be fair, have, certainly with the carbon fiber stuff, have basically taken his products and run with them themselves, which, you know, that's the world we live in, fair enough. But Lee at Custom RC Upgrades in the UK, easily up there with M2C and Just Bash It as one of the best machinists on the face of the planet. He is going to be, or has already made me, a wing that he'll post on Monday. Carbon fiber wing. As you can see, the downforce off the back of this would be significant. I was thinking about just chopping this top bit off, but I would rather leave it stock and just take it off, keep it for a rainy day, as it is actually a really good looking wing and super stout. What else? I fitted a rear armor drive shaft in here. This is off a Typhon. It's nice, it's thicker than the stock Corrali drive shaft. There is room in there up against the rear brace for an 8 mil, with minimal sanding on that rear brace. But I'm going to try and run this lighter dog bone first and see what happens. Otherwise, I've spoken to Lee already, and he will stick one in the post for me, no doubt. I've also spoken to Lee about possibly making up a custom length dog bone at the front, but I'm going to run this stock for now. I've got the graphite or carbon fiber. You can just see the wee nut there. If I can get my poker in here. That's carbon fiber either side of the front forward brace. Now, I have to say, I was pleased to have bought the chassis and the rear brace, because this is the 6S rear brace and chassis, and there is not per se a rear brace, or on their website this shows as something you can fit on your 4S, and you can, but you would need to re-drill one of the holes in your chassis. So it's not a big deal, but with this new chassis, that brace fits perfectly. The servo I've left in there, it seems to be plenty torquey. I think it's 25 kilogram. It's more than enough. What else is going on? 7075 hinge pins. You can't see them because they're all plastic wrapped at the back there, but underneath there are some real nice 7075 hinge pins. And the stock buggy comes with unadjustable steering linkages and rear upper links, so I have opted for a set of their spring steel front and rear links, which have gone in perfectly. Oh, and by the way, their sway bars on this buggy, not to bash other people again, but they actually work. They actually set up to work. They are fully adjustable. You have a ring in the middle here that sits into a recess that stops it from moving side to side. Quite a significant amount. Other sway bars you can just pull across like that. It's also got the stoppers in here that I haven't tightened up yet, so you can really get the sway bars actually working on this car. I think I am going to have to get rid of a spacer at the bottom here, because I've got about 1 degree or 1.5 degree of toe at the front, and I don't want any speed running. I want all 4 corners flat on the ground. What else I've got going on? I think that's about it. There was something else that I haven't yet mentioned, but anyway, yeah, I got the aerial on. Sticks nicely out the top of the body, so that should give me a decent amount of distance with my Fly Sky receiver, which has got a fantastic range without any boosters. So that is it. That is it, guys. I am really looking forward to running this beast, and I'll do it this side so you can't see my horrific mistake, because it is horrific. It is proper schoolboy, and I'm so embarrassed by it. Just chopping in like a like a teenager on his first bloody rendezvous at prom night, you know what I mean? Crikey. Anyway, look at the state of that, boys. Hey? I mean, have a word. If you're gonna just go on aesthetics alone, this must be the best buggy on the face of the planet right now. I mean, it is utterly beautiful. Nice little lip here so that you get a nice airflow straight up and over your wing. I mean, it's freaking beautiful. Mean, beastly thing. Really is. I am absolutely loving it. They sent me a free mat as well. I'm not sponsored by them, guys, but one thing I will do is I will sit here in the garage and sing anybody's praises for doing a bloody good job. Do you know what I mean? These guys, I think, are some of the best suppliers in the world, and this is, so far, to work on, one of the nicest buggies, or if not the nicest buggy I've ever had on the desk here. Really is, genuinely. Let's see how it performs. I hope it will show you guys some triple digits. I'm not planning on putting a big all singing all dancing body on it. I'm going to run it as a buggy, and I want to see how fast I can make a buggy go. I know there are folk out there that have made them go exceptionally fast, and I fancy giving it a crack. Anyway, I hope you enjoy that little short review and build overview, and I will be doing some running on this when the weather gets better. It's raining at the moment, and also that thing, which is a complete nonsense. Let's see how that pans out for me. I got loads of other new builds. I rebuilt Shark Bite, completely different. I need to show you that. And also, wow, this thing is amazing. That is a Streamline V3 Thrasher. what a jet boat. We have new lakes and lochs and river down the way. That is brand spanking new, rebuilt SCX-10.3 with a twist. I haven't even run that yet. That's old reliable. That's done all sorts. And that went out in the snow, but I haven't shown you yet. But anyway, this is the belle of the ball today. Peace.